How's it going, everybody? It's Arcane Hulk here with you today, and what I want to talk to you guys about is getting to the next level in Destiny. Now, I'm not talking about like light level or anything like that. I'm talking about becoming a better player, getting to that, crossing that threshold from being a good player to a great player and so forth. Now, I'm not gonna talk like I'm a pro Destiny player or anything like that. I don't even think those exist yet. But I'm just gonna give you guys some basic tips to help you, to expand your skill set and to help you rethink the way you look at some things. That way they can help you out later on. So, what I want to talk to you guys about first is PvP. PvP is probably the easiest thing to improve in, or it's the easiest thing to make progress in, because PvE it's pretty much a very stagnant experience. It takes a little bit longer to get better at that. It's mostly trial and error with PvE. For example, the raid, you'll run some things differently. You'll have to run it multiple times to get used to it. But with PvP, you can start seeing results with how you play a little bit quicker just by, embracing a few simple tips. Now, one thing I want to talk to you guys about is I'm going to leave the radar out of this because if Inferno modes do come back, for example, like if we get Inferno Salvage, Inferno Skirmish, if Inferno Control makes a return, then the radar is something that you won't be using. So I'm not saying ignore the radar, but try not to prioritize it over everything else. One thing you guys need to focus on when it comes to PvP is audio cues. Now, one thing that's good about this game is that the audio cues are very nice, they're very loud, and they are easily distinguishable. So, for example, you can tell when someone's using Gold Gun, you can tell when it's Arc Blade. Fist of Havoc you can't really tell because you're probably dead by the time you hear it. Sunsinger's Res is easy to hear, and the Warlock's Nova Bomb, which, same thing as Fist of Havoc. If you hear it, you're probably about to die. But that's a good thing. Being able to pick out those Blade Dancers, Gunslingers, that self-res Warlock, those are supers that can travel, they can carry the damage with them, and they can get kills across a longer span of time. So those are some supers that you're going to prioritize over others. If you hear those, you're going to want to call them out, make sure your teammates hear it, and you're generally going to want to run away unless you have an immediate means of challenging. For example, a counter super, or maybe even a heavy weapon. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is communicating with your team. Communication is easily the number one thing that can make you a better player at this game, just because that's really how it is with any cooperative experience. If you guys are talking, you're having more fun. Maybe you can take things a bit more seriously. You can call out. You can say, "Oh, he's running to mid cave. He's going to circle through circle B, and you can stick your grenade to the wall and get a double kill." Something like that. That's how a lot of if you look at other games, that's how the professional players cement themselves through good communication and, to a lesser extent, good gun skill. Good gun skill does come into play, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So more about communication is, run with the team. Get about 2 or 3 fire members going. You can go to Destiny LFG to try that out. A website I've been going to recently is lfg.planetdestiny.com. It's up and coming, but I really think that could be the future of LFG sites, in just my opinion. So getting back to gun skill, one thing about this is you're going to want to customize your sensitivity. Now, what your sensitivity is, if you press the start button, press RB, R1, depending on what console you're on, and go all the way over to settings, you'll see your look sensitivity. Now, this is how fast your gun moves across the screen, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. The importance of this is because once you find your comfortable sensitivity, then you can really start changing how you aim. Now, the best thing that comes into play with this is that you can pull off more shots in more situations that you really couldn't think of before. So, for example, since I'm a very fast-paced player, I use Last Word, I have a shotgun as a secondary. If I want to settle down, then I'll use my LMG. So my playstyle is kind of close to mid-range. So I want a higher sensitivity so I can turn around, check my flanks faster. I can pick up anyone I see if I need to turn a corner really quick and bust out a shotgun. Stuff like that. I can really control that range with the sensitivity that I'm playing on. If you're more of a sniper, you like to sit back and patrol an area, camp. Sorry. If you like to sit back and patrol an area, and you want to use a sniper rifle, maybe anything from a 1 sensitivity all the way up to about a 4, because those are still moving pretty slow. And of course, if you're just freaking amazing at aiming, you can track your targets through anything, through thick and thin. You can you can fly all over the place, then a 10 would be pretty good. Now, a 10 in this game isn't as fast as something like Call of Duty, but it is fairly up there. It doesn't really lend itself too well to the longer medium ranges and, across the map like on Bastion or First Light. And probably the final most important thing is just learning the maps. Make sure you know every spot, so to speak. You know where everyone could be hiding, you know where the high traffic areas are, you know where the popular flanks are, and make sure you know the unpopular areas as well, because those are generally going to be your safe routes. If you need to dip out of a situation, get away, and stay alive, that's the route that you're going to want to take, because generally people won't be there. Now, flanking in this game is fairly difficult because of the radar. It doesn't lend itself too much to it, but you can pull off some successful flanks as long as you're working with a teammate in unison. Now, the best thing to do if you're flanking, of course, is to do it in Inferno mode where there's no radar. But if you're going to do it, try to move cover to cover and crouch when possible. Because when you're crouching, you don't exactly show up on the radar continuously like you can see on the screen these guys in front of me. Now, it's kind of iffy if you're going to crouch. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they'll see the spot just disappear, and a good player will say, okay, he's crouched, he's in a corner, I'm going to go find that corner, and I'm going to stuff a shotgun barrel down his face. It happens. But Inferno mode, you can really take more advantage of it. It's easily the more competitive of the playlist, although I still think shotguns are a bit too rampant in that mode. Just personal opinion. But I think that's pretty much it for so far. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. If you leave a dislike, please tell me why. I'm always looking to improve and make my videos a little bit better. I want to make sure I'm clear, concise. The tips I'm giving make sense, and I just want to make sure I'm not leading people astray, you know, giving them misleading information that'll make them ultimately worse at the game, because that doesn't help the community at all. I want this community to do well, I want it to thrive, and I want to make sure that every player I play with is good, and I just want everyone to be good at the game, so to speak. But yeah, guys, I'll see you again soon. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that too. Leave a comment down below. Your tips for PvP. I know I left a lot of things out, but these are just the main things. But yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. I'll let the gameplay finish off in the background. And tomorrow's video will be about PvE and how to improve in that. Alright, see you guys.
This isn't a fight.
Oh, okay.
It's a massacre. Zone B secure. Total control. Good work. Ha ha. More
best
efforts like that and we might just win.
And I got sniped right at the end. Oh my gosh. I did freaking work. Humble brag.